So what are you working on now?
What am I? There's a lot of moving pieces right now, but right now I am working on the repertoire. So I'm going to a festival called the Cortona Sessions for New Music in Cortona, Italy in June, and I'm the resident
This is by
pianist.
Florence.
This is by Florence,
Okay.
yes. And so I'll be participating in this festival. And I was like, I really want to go to Italy. This is great, great way to do this. So I
Oh,
was like, so I got the resident piano position, and so I will be performing with other students and faculty there. And so I'm learning the repertoire for that right now, all of its chamber rep. And then I'm also going to perform my friend Luis Fernando Amaya's piece, Condor Number 2, which was the one I was telling you about with the ebos and stuff, and a few other solo pieces. So that's what that festival will entail, and a few other odds and ends that I'm still figuring out. But like core stuff is the chamber works they assign me and this solo rep that I have to learn. And then I'm working on my newest LP based on the season of summer. I know last time we chatted, I had just finished a small EP called Reminiscence, and that came out. And now I'm working on my next big full length album. I am turning it into a collection of 4 full piano albums based on the season. So I had written Winter back in 2021 when I released that. And then I will be releasing this album probably in September, actually. I'm going to be recording it when I come back from Italy. I will be recording it in August, and it's going to be a real quick turnaround. But I have a audio engineer that I love to work with, that I'm very good friends with, and him and I did this the first time, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna record it in Gons Hall at Roosevelt University, so I get the
yeah.
big old Steinway. But we're recording it in August. So I'm gonna be learning. I'm learning the album right now while preparing for Cortona. So I'm
So
like,
you've wrote it
yeah, it's
and
already
you're
written.
learning it to play.
Yeah, because I write everything. I write everything now at the piano, but I generally will write it more from the composer lens, where I'm like, I'm just gonna do this,
Yeah.
and then future John can sweat
He can
about it
figure it
later.
out, yeah.
And that's oftentimes very sad. Well, not sad. It's very. I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Because I write difficult music for myself to play then, and then I have to learn it, because I was like, if I can't play it then, I'm like, I'll figure it out later, and then I learn it and go through the process of like learning a piece. And then while I'm learning it, I make edits and do things like that so that I get to the final product. But yeah, I'm working on this album, figuring out we're going to do another release party like I did the first time, likely at Space Again in Evanston. So just fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm very excited for that. So those are the big things: is the Cortona Sessions album that is going to come out in September, and probably my next solo show of more avant-garde stuff. I'm going to do another one of those. I have some new repertoire that I've kind of accumulated recently and want to figure out how I can turn it into another more modern music concert.
Yeah, that's a lot. You're going to be pretty busy coming up here.
It's going to be a lot.
Or you are. I'm dropping in on him, like practicing, preparing.
Yeah, you heard me practicing earlier. I was like, I'm going to get a little bit in before Rich shows up, and then I'm going to walk my dogs, and then I'm going to continue practicing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to Italy, obviously. This is something different than you're used to. So music is the focal point, obviously, when you're there. Are you going to take kind of the experience around it and use that stimuli and new information and images to incorporate into your music moving forward, you think?
I hope so. I generally get influenced a lot from.
It's probably not
my
a very
environment.
linear thing. It's probably just all kind of.
Yeah, if it's there and I think about it, eventually something will come out of it, I guess you could say. while I'm there, I mean the festival has a lot of other things. Like I get to like the food culture is obviously like first and foremost important for me, so we'll be doing a lot of that. Um,
I ate like 2 tubs of gelato
yeah,
over the
I
weekend.
imagine I'm just gonna.
I really like this gelato Talenti,
Mhm.
and their packaging. They got this like twist lid that I just reuse. So I justify. I'm like I'm running low on. I lost a couple of these, and then I put other food and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, I chop up bananas and then freeze them and use them for my like protein smoothies.
It's amazing.
So the more Talenti,
You get then the
the
more.
more I can stock up on
There you
frozen
go.
bananas.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I am always like kind of influenced from my environment and my surroundings. A lot of my music I think is very focused on imagery first and foremost these days, imagery and or poetry, like, but not. I can't think of it like anything else at the moment. It's like I look at a painting and I'm like I will write a piece on that, or like I see like a mountain and it's like I will write multiple pieces on mountains, or like I like liminal spaces and I follow a bunch of them on Instagram and I'm like I love how creepy that is. I'm gonna write like 5 pieces on that. And like
What's a liminal space?
a liminal space is like it's like a I don't remember the exact definition. It's like they're kind of there's a weird offshoot of how do I put it? It's like it feels like a memory, like you feel like let's say you like look at like a abandoned Chuck E. Cheese, and it's like you feel like you've been there, but most of it's like kind of surrealist horror or like psychological horror where there's like you look at this picture and it's something's off about it, and you're like I've seen this in a dream, or you feel like was I there or was this a dream? And like the line is very blurry as to like is this like picture that I'm looking at like something that I have actually been in before. And they tend to be very much focused on like 90s like photographs or like early 2000s photographs where like you know like our childhood is like you look at like a certain picture and you're like it's like kind of like I remember that, but our memories obviously like shift and work through as we get older. So I think liminal spaces kind of plays with this idea of like you look at a picture, but you're not quite sure if that picture was real or like that experience was real, and like your memory just kind of contorted it at some point, or like you're thinking of it from a different lens. Hildy, no. Sorry, my dog wanted to chime in. She's like, I agree. But yeah, so liminal spaces tend to be on like kind of like a psychological horror kick with them, and I really enjoy that personally.